Well, praise the Lord. So, this is what I do on my job. I am an overnight stalker. I'm not going to exactly say where because I'm not sure how that works, but this is our freight. You can pretty much tell us, you can pretty much see what I do. I just pretty much scan things with that Zebra phone, and then so we scan the boxes, and we have to look at the item numbers, and we pretty much just we like I said, we put out the freight, and then we basically scan these barcodes, and it will put it in, as received item received. And once that is, the percentage goes up. There's a percentage that we have to get, to kind of show what where we're at and how much freight we've made, 100% once, but mostly in the 90s. And so, like I said, we just basically scan those codes there, and we put out all these freight. Now, this kind of freight, these boxes and things, they're pretty heavy. So doing this about 8 to 10 hours, or people, see, I'm over here in the tools department, so it's a lot heavier because you have like power jacks and things like that to stock. Car jacks and things like this. This is all my freight on this card here. I know I'm kind of just throwing them, but they're really heavy. Some of this freight is heavy. However, this is what I do at night. This is what I do on my night shift job, and I do this at least 5 days a week. Sometimes I only have 1 day off a week. Pretty much like Fridays and Sundays, so that's 2 different weeks. And so, like I said, it's a job. When people work night shift, you usually get paid an extra $1, and things like that. So that's my top stocking right there. As you can see, I'm putting the stickers down, and it's a top stocking thing. This is like my boxes. I put them in buggies so that I put things in buggies. So I put the boxes that I break down in the buggies, and then later on we take them to a compactor. So like I said, this freight is kind of heavy, probably compared to other store freights. I'm not sure. Home Depot, they probably have about the same thing. Walmart, I know that their freight is a little bit lighter, from what I heard, because, I've never worked as an overnight stalker at Walmart. However, this freight is just a little bit more. If you want a physical job that kind of keeps you active, then yes, this would be a great job for you. Now, as you can see in the video, I'm not a small person or anything. I'm not a small person, but however, when I first started working with this company in Texas, I lost a lot of weight, but because of me being an endomorph and all, it's easy to gain, you can lose weight for a while and it may stay up for a while, but then I guess your body just gets used to the activity, and then after that, it's like you don't get, it just goes back to normal. Your weight, your body, all of that just goes back to normal. Okay, so yeah, I like to drink my Diet Mountain Dews. Yeah, I'm halfway done with that cart, it looks like. We have to drag these carts. We used to do it on pallets, which I wish they would have kept that. But we have to drag these carts around. And sometimes the freight is this particular day, this was probably like the biggest area of where the most freight was. So Anyway, like I said, it's a lot to do. I'm not by myself or anything. We do have a team, but other people are in different areas. I love to work in the plumbing area, but today I had to work in the tool area. Now I'm pretty sure that when people see this, now this is me on my break, right? Yeah, this is me on my break. We take 15 minutes. We get a little sandwich here and there. You have to eat it to keep your energy going. So it's crazy times at night. That's a lot of freight. And like I said, it can be heavy. And like I said, it can be a lot. See, that's heavy right there. Whatever that is very heavy. The tools department is usually got a lot of heavy stuff. So there is a lot of heavy lifting. People don't understand. They think night shift, they don't understand that we cannot be out in the daytime like everybody wants us. We don't get up bright-eyed and bushy-tailed. We're already up, and it's time for us to go to bed. Plus, if you've been moving around all night, we're not at a desk job. We're not that anything's wrong with that. That's cool. It's not a desk job. It's not a security job. It's not a job where you're just sitting or standing. You're moving. You're constantly moving all night, and you're constantly physically moving things all night and lifting heavy things all night. This is what you're doing all night. And you're bending over. Sometimes, at the end of the night, there's this thing called top stop that we have to do. And that means that you have to get on a machine called a picker. We call it an order picker that you have to do. And you have to lift freight up that wouldn't go out. You have to lift it and put it on the very top shelf. And sometimes that can be very hard. So, again, a lot of people probably don't understand when it comes to being an overnight stalker. It's different from a lot of jobs. And, so it's different from other jobs, and, it pays the bills, all I can say. But I know it's hard for people to understand. So, we have a circadian rhythm. You're supposed to be up in the daytime and work and sleeping at night, but since our time is switched, which I know, like I said, I don't think a lot of people understand. There's people that always say, "Oh, I know what it's like to work night shift." Well, why aren't you working night shift now? There's many other people that don't even work a job right now. They draw money or whatever. And which nothing wrong with it. Trust me, if I could draw money, guess what I'd be doing? I'd be out preaching. I'd be out doing what the Lord called me to do. And doing the things that are in the Lord. I'd be busy in the Lord if I could just draw a check and have my bills paid every month. But because I'm not in that specific way right now, I have to work until the Lord, and not saying that the Lord won't take care of us. Yeah, we can work. He provides a way for us to make income. We have to work, or we work. He provides a way for us. He takes care of us. Even if we're unable to work, there's been a time when I was unable to work but I was living with my mom, so it was different. Now I'm by myself. I have to take care of my own bills, right? My own things. But the Lord provides a way all the time. Like I said, this is a really good company to work for. Like I said, I don't want to really mention the company because I don't know how is that a conflict of interest, or I don't know what that would be like. So. But however, if you ever decided to be a overnight stalker, you should get paid a little extra an hour. I think this is me going on lunch right now. We get an hour break, and as you can tell in my eyes, as you can see in my eyes, it's like, whew, I'm starting to get tired now. And then you come back from lunch and you finish whatever else you need to do. So, it looks like I was tired. Yeah. This is a different area because sometimes the wrong stuff will be on the wrong carts and things like that. Okay, this is the time where we're compressing our cardboard, right? Compressing my cardboard. Yeah, so I'm doing that. So this has to be, about the time to, yeah. I guess all of these videos are a little bit mixed up. I'm just showing you this is my job and this is what I do. I put all the little stuff in buggies so that I can, and leave all the big stuff on the carts and be able to scoot them. Okay, so this is me leaving. This is me leaving. Me getting off work. Okay, as you can see in my eyes, I'm very tired. All right, but this is the job. Thanks for watching.
If you call on him for you, he can do the same.